come out a large triangular section to the top of the hair. And for the first color I'll be using on the left triangle is a level 11 pearl base with 40 volume hydrogen peroxide. So I'll go in here and I'll weave the hair nice and consistent. Elevate your fingers, place the foil directly where the weave meets the roots. Place a chemical, the 11P, at the midshaft and then gently touch up the foil area. And this color I'm pulling through because her existing color, I know I can break through it enough to get a nice consistent base. And close up your foil, seal that packet nice and clean. Take the next section. The next foil I'll be using bleach with 20 volume peroxide. So I take a nice clean section out, and here I'll elevate the hair, and I'll take this entire portion will be in this foil packet. So I go from a weave to a heavy packet. So I'll place the bleach, touch up the roots really gentle because anticipate the product to expand slightly during the chemical process, and make sure you get a consistent amount of product throughout the hair that exists in your foil. Seal up your foil, pack the product down, and now for the third foil, I'll revert back to my high lift. And for my high lift, I'll slice the hair this time. So I started with a weave and a full packet, and now I'm slicing the hair, so I'm building more dynamic. I'm building more texture with my color usage. I'll apply the product at the mid shaft, and then I'll go touch up the roots just slightly. And again, I'll lift the ends, place them up, place them down, so I have all the hair and my working product in the same area. Seal up the packet. Okay, and that's our technique through the right side. Through the left side of this technique, this is my heavier side. So I'll start off, elevate the hair, prepare my foil, and I'll place this entire packet inside the foil. So this is a weave, and I'll start off, this time I'm starting off again with my 11 high lift pearl base with 40 volume. Again, make sure you get consistent saturation of product and hair that's within the foil. Seal up that foil nice and clean. Pack the product down and progress onto the next section. So for the heavier side of this technique, I'll be pivoting my foil, so every foil will begin at the same point, so I can start building up some density through my technique. So here I'll go in and slice the hair. When you're working with foils, it's quite mechanical, and once you get the mechanics down, then you can start tapping into your creative abilities. But first things first, get the mechanics down, get your timing down, get your technique down perfect, and all those additional creative inspirations and adaptations will happen organically. But first things first, it's always about technique. The craft is technique, and you have to consistently work on your technique. So again, starting off at the same point, and my sections here again, they pivot towards the right side. Slice the hair, my eyes are really directly in front of what I'm working at. That way I can anticipate and adapt to any like awkward growths, any cowlicks, if the density of the hair varies. Because a lot of times you'll find that clients, the hair around the hairline can be quite finer than the rest. So you'll have to adapt your weave or your slice to take into consideration that lack of density, that inconsistency. So here I'm building for consistency. So since the hair is quite fine through the hairline, I have to take a finer weave at that point and then build my slice back up. Otherwise, the way that the color would fall throughout the hairline would be much more heavier than I intend. Still working with sections that pivot from the crown, working forward. Here's my high lift series with 40 volume. It's a high lift violet base. consistent placement of product, and just seal up that foil nice and clean, pack product down. This next section, I'll slice from heavier through the crown to finer through the hairline. Again, because the hair is quite thinner, the density is less right at the hairline, so I have to technically adapt to that. Place a product at mid shaft, and then I slowly and gently touch up the root area, so my strokes are faster in the mid shaft and ends. Around the root area, my strokes are a lot slower and more calculated. Okay, now for the tint, I'll be using a level 6 ash with 20 volume. So this formulation will allow me to lift at the roots and deposit on the ends all in one shot. So I don't have to jump in there with two formulas. So here I'll take a nice clean section, hitting the roots all the way through the ends, and just work nice, clean, methodical, and precise. I'm always looking for a consistent distribution of product. Don't ever leave anything out, like spots are unacceptable. So work clean, work perfect, and just make sure that that color is always, you're getting an even distribution throughout the ends, the roots, and the mid shafts. So here I'm just going for like a cool tone because it'll balance off the natural warmth that I'll pull, because her natural is quite dark. She's a level 2. So I'm anticipating to pull warmth. That's why I chose the ash base. So again, hitting every section from roots to ends. Just use your thumb and be methodical about the application of your product. Make sure you hit absolutely everything. Through the sides, I begin to work away from the face, so it's a lot cleaner to work this way. And if I use larger sections, I can just hit it with more product. I love to use a lot of product because I have the confidence that I've hit everything, and then it doesn't slow me down. I don't have to run over the same spots over and over again. So I'm quite generous with the amount of products that I use. Again, through the hairline, make sure you hit everything. So now back into normal speed, touching up the hairlines. Alright, and there we go. Our helmet color technique. Enjoy.